superhero fans? Welcome to Comic Hero Talk, the YouTube channel where we talk all things superhero, whether that be comic books, television, or movies, or any other medium that they are presented in. I am Jacob Bartley, your host as always, and this is the first episode of What's the Issue, the comic book show where we talk about some of the comics that I've been reading from this past week. Now, this episode in particular is going to include issues that I've read from 2 weeks ago, and then some issues that I read this week because I was doing a little bit of catch up. But ongoing, this show is going to be weekly. I'm going to put it up at the end of the week. Every Sunday morning, I'm going to have an episode up. I might change the day, but for now, it's going to be Sunday morning to give myself a little bit of time to read the comics that have come out that Wednesday. But it will usually be the comics that have come out this week. And today, I'm going to talk about Darth Maul number 4, Harley Quinn number 22, Secret Empire number 5, The Mighty Captain Marvel number 6, and Wonder Woman number 25. Now, before I go into any more depth, I will tell you that these thoughts and these reviews may contain some light spoilers. Now, I'm not going to get into huge depth. I'm not going to talk about any big, major spoilers, but here and there, I might talk about things that people might consider spoilers, like certain characters popping up, etc. But I won't spoil those huge plot points that you may want to save for yourself when reading these comics on your own. Now, let's jump to this first comic that I'm here to talk about, and that is Darth Maul number 4. If you've been reading this Darth Maul run from Marvel Comics, you know that it takes place right before the Phantom Menace. And that's what intrigues me the most, because when you meet Darth Maul in the Phantom Menace, he doesn't talk a lot. He doesn't have much to say. But in this comic run, you get in his head. You get his own thoughts, what he's thinking. And you see him interact with other bounty hunters. And basically the whole plot and premise of this thing is that he knows that there's this Padawan who's available for sale, and he goes to like steal her for his own because he wants to kill her because he hates the Jedi so much. So you get to see him interact with this Padawan and have different like philosophical ideals than her, and it's really, really cool. And I really enjoy this comic a lot because I'm a huge fan of Darth Maul. He's one of my favorite Star Wars characters. So that'll be that. Harley Quinn number 22, the rebirth run of Harley Quinn. Harley Quinn is one of my favorite comic book characters to read. I love Harley Quinn. Not only is she sexy as hell, but she also is just such a complex character. Now, she was originally portrayed as a villain, but they kind of turned her into this anti-hero and have given her a heart. And, you know, don't mistake her. She'll still slit somebody's throat if they deserve it. But in general, she has a good heart. And this continues in this run. I really did like this issue. They kind of they're starting a new story, if you will. Like comic book runs, they'll go for 4 issues, they'll tell one story arc, or for 6 issues, they'll tell one story arc. So this kind of sets forth a new motion of storytelling in the Harley Quinn. It's continually great. I really did like it. You get to see her interact with her parents. You get some flashbacks to when before she was Harley Quinn and when she was first getting started as her job as a psychiatrist, and you get to see her interact with her parents. And you also get the continued storyline of this character Harley Sin, who just got out of prison and is being hired to fulfill this mission that she's on, and she kind of asked Harley for some help. So I definitely recommend checking out. Pick up the trades for the rebirth of Harley Quinn. I really love it. It's made her one of my favorite comic book characters to read, hands down. I really do love it. So those are the 2 issues from last week, Darth Maul number 4 and Harley Quinn number 22. Definitely go check those out. Now I'm jumping into the issues that came out earlier this week, the week of July 1st. So these comics came out this previous Wednesday, and that is Secret Empire number 5, The Mighty Captain Marvel number 6, and Wonder Woman number 25. Now, Secret Empire is this huge storyline going on in the Marvel Comics right now. When it first came out, the 0 issue and the 1 issue, I loved this comic. I thought it was amazing. I thought it was some of the best stuff to come out in comics in a while. Like I liked it more than Civil War 2. But these last couple issues have kind of taken that excitement away. Now, don't get me wrong, I'm still enjoying it, but it kind of there's some choices that have been made that I don't necessarily agree with. They're just introducing storylines or story points that don't make a lot of sense. And yes, eventually they're going to explain it. But I don't like when my comics get too complex to where like I'm like, that doesn't make any sense unless I'm missing something that happened in all the side stories that come out. Certain things that have been introduced in the last couple issues don't make any sense to me, and I should not have to read any of the side stories for this to make sense. You're presenting Secret Empire as its own thing, as a storyline, so make all the information that I need to understand this available in the main Secret Empire issues, please, because they're setting me on different paths as far as storylines. I'm just like, where does this make sense? Why does this make sense? It doesn't make sense. So I still like Secret Empire. If you've been reading it, continue reading it. But as of right now, it's not as exciting. It's not that best thing in comics that I thought it was going to be. There are some cool things, though. The Black Widow storyline is really cool. This is like the most I've read about Black Widow since I've started reading comics. So if you like Black Widow, there's some really cool stuff going on with her in this. Now, my next issue, this kind of ties into Secret Empire, is Mighty Captain Marvel #6. Now, Captain Marvel is one of my favorite superheroes in general, one of my favorite comic book characters to read. And basically, if you've been following the Secret Empire storyline, this might be considered a spoiler, but I don't consider it a spoiler necessarily. Captain Marvel has been locked out of Earth. She helped Captain America build a shield before she knew that he was Hydra or whatever, even if that even is Captain America. So she basically helped lock herself and the Guardians and a bunch of other powerful heroes outside of Earth with this powerful shield that not even she can get through. And there's an ongoing Chitauri army continually attacking Earth, and the Earth's first defense is Alpha Flight, where Captain Marvel stays and where she's kind of like the leader of. And it's really cool. I really like this issue because, first of all, I love Captain Marvel, and she feels so betrayed by Steve Rogers. Like, Steve Rogers is the one guy you're like, I never have to worry about him becoming evil, and now he's evil. And that's kind of how all of the characters in the Marvel comics feel right now. Like, how could Steve Rogers become this? Like, even people that are on his side are feeling that way. So I really like this Captain Marvel run, and especially how it ties in to Secret Empire. I love how angry she is at Steve Rogers, and I love just the idea of Alpha Flight and how they're constantly taking on a Chitauri army. There's the comic storyline going on right now in Captain Marvel. It's called Band of Sisters, and she has these 3 kind of interns, these young kids that are working on Alpha Flight, and I've enjoyed some of their interactions, but it kind of takes away from the main storyline, so I don't necessarily love what's going on with the Band of Sisters storyline, but I still did like it, and overall, it's a really cool tie-in to Secret Empire. So yeah, so moving on to Wonder Woman #25, and this storyline is the first issue for this new storyline titled Perfect, and I really did like this issue. Every time I think about stop reading the Wonder Woman Rebirth line, and I love Wonder Woman, don't get me wrong, but I'm trying to like scale down on how many comics I'm reading each week because it gets expensive here, everybody. But I did love this issue, so I'm going to continue reading Wonder Woman, and it opens up with a Justice League battle, which is awesome. I love that, and it just showed how powerful she is compared to the other characters, and how she's kind of toe-to-toe with Superman when it comes to power. And you also get the interaction between the Trinity, which is Batman, Superman, Wonder Woman. While you have the Justice League battle, then you have this moment in the middle of the issue where Batman, Superman, and Wonder Woman are talking to each other, and I just love seeing that relationship with them. It reminds me of earlier, a couple weeks ago, there was a Wonder Woman annual released, and that one of the stories in that was the first time Batman and Superman met Wonder Woman, and I really love seeing them all 3 together. It makes me want to go read the Rebirth Trinity, which is a comic line just with them 3 in it. I think I'm going to go pick up the trades once I get a chance to do that, because I love the interaction between those 3 characters in particular. And also, what I always love is the interaction between Wonder Woman and Steve Trevor. You get some more of that in this comic. I don't necessarily love romance in my superhero properties, whether that be movies, television, or comics, but there are a few that work for me, and Steve Trevor and Wonder Woman are one of those relationships that really, really work for me in comics. So I definitely recommend reading Wonder Woman Rebirth. I really, really enjoy it. All right, well, that's going to do it for this episode of What's the Issue? Let me know what issue stands out to you this week, what comics sound good to you. And every week at the end of the podcast, I'm going to choose my issue of the week. And I'm counting all 5 of these comics for that, just for this week. Like I said, after this, it'll be just the comics that came out this week. But out of these 5 comics, my favorite issue is, drum roll please, Darth Maul number 4. Darth Maul number 4 wins the issue of the week. It was my favorite out of all these issues. I really, really liked it because I love the character of Darth Maul and just seeing his perspective on things. All right, well, thank you all for watching. I am Jacob Bartley for Comic Hero Talk. Please subscribe to Comic Hero Talk if you love all things superheroes, including comics, television, movies, video games, whatever it is. I'll get to it eventually. Thanks again for watching. Until next time, see you later.